Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering, your home for real nuts and bolts guitar learning. And this session is a play-along guitar workout on the chords that you need to know. There's a 4-part series of this. There's lessons that go along with this, and there's these play-along guitar workouts. This is the first workout on the basic chords. Make sure, if you haven't already, go ahead and listen to the lesson for these basic chords where I show all of the chords and the fingerings and all of that stuff that you can learn from. This time is where we put it into action. So you're going to need to download a couple things. If you look in the YouTube description, there's a couple of links. One of them is for the chord charts, to download the chord charts of these 4 pages of chords that you need to know. These are the chords, about 95% of the chords I've ever played in my entire professional guitar life are on these chords. We're going to be covering the first page of those. In this workout, we're going to be looking off of these workout pages, so you need to download those too. So the links are in the YouTube description there below, and we'll get started with the workouts. Go ahead and grab your guitar, and then let's get started. All right, the first batch of chords that we're going to look at is open chords. Remember what we talked about in the lesson. Open chords have an open string somewhere in them, as opposed to movable chords, which don't use any sort of open string. So the open chords have somewhere along the line an open string in it. So take a look at the first, there's 4 lines of 5 chords each. Those are the basic open chords that we're going to be talking about. So let's just review those open chords first and make sure we are fingering those correctly as we're going along. Take a look at that first line of them. This is the A family that we're going to look at. We're just taking them in alphabetical order. No, there's nothing magical about this sequence. We're just taking these 20 or so open chords in alphabetical order. So let's form these together. Everybody play that A with me. Second, third, and fourth fingers. We got our 5th string open. First string open. Don't play that last 6th string. Play that A for me. It's a 5-string chord. There you go. And then if you move your first finger to the 2nd string on the 1st fret, we have A minor. So do that again. A major with our pinky to A minor. Great. Let's take a look at the next one. Just move your your 3rd finger down a string, and you have the 7th. There's 3 main types of flavors of chords. There's major chords, minor chords, and 7th chords. This is the 7th chord in A, an A7. Make sure and have that open G ringing out there. If you move this now 3rd finger on the 2nd string to a 1st finger back where he was on the 2nd string, we have an A minor 7th. So we've covered an A minor, an A7, and now an A minor 7th. Now don't worry if you don't get all of these. We're going to have some practice with them tonight. That's what this is for. The next one is a suspended. So I take my A like this, and I just slide that pinky out on that 2nd string, and we have an A suspended. All right, so play all of those with me. We've got an A, we've got A minor, we've got A 7th, move that 3rd finger down a string, we've got A minor 7th, and now we've got A suspended with that pinky moving out there. That is our first batch of chords, the A family. Several of these chords are built in families. Now let's just move on to the next line. We're going to cover B7, which is usually the trickier of the chords, the earlier chords to learn. So take a look at this B7th. We have our 2nd finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, 1st finger on the D sharp, A on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, open, that's that open string there, that 2nd string open. Then we squeeze our pinky in on the 1st string, 2nd fret. There you go. All right, that's a B7. Let's try it. Let me give you a little exercise with this B7. I want you to put your hand down Put your hand all the way down, and then come up and form that B7. A good way to do these is to take your hand off, and you want to try and form them as a unit, as one picture. Now, as you're just starting, it'll be finger, 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 finger. I got it. But as you move along, you want these to form as one solid picture where all the strings are hitting the fingers at the same time. That's a B7. All right, let's move to C. Another 3-fingered chord, okay, but this one is generally the more familiar one to everybody. So we have our 3rd finger on the C on the 5th string. We've got a 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, an open G, 1st finger on the C, open E. If you're unsure, if your notes aren't ringing out clearly, play each one of them individually. There you go. So that's C. Freeze, don't move a muscle. I want you to put your pinky down on that 3rd string at the 3rd fret, right underneath, kind of on that 3rd fret there underneath the 3rd finger. That's a C7. So of the C family, we're just going to learn 2, C and C7 for our purposes right now. Okay, take a look at the next one. Now, here's a quick key. You can move your just 3rd and 2nd finger, just move them up a string set. Then we have open, open, open. Pinky down here on the 1st string, that's a G. Okay? So see how it's related to the C, just have to move these 2 fingers together. Put your 1st finger over here on the 1st fret. That's G7. All right, so let's try that line again. Okay, we're going to start right back at the B7. Put your hand out. See if you can find that B7. Don't worry if you can't get it right off. That's all right. That's all right. The more practice you do, the better you'll get. Let's do a C. Everybody play me a C. There you go. I put my pinky down on that 3rd string. I get a C7. Okay. I move my 3rd and 2nd finger up a string and my pinky down a string. I get G. If I move that 1st finger over to the 1st fret, I get a G7. And those are the 2nd line. So we got 2 more we're going to go through. We're going to go through the D family next. This is the 3rd line on that page. This is the D family. There's majors, minors, 7ths. We'll cover a minor 7th and a suspended. All right, so take a look at the first one, D. Now, D, it's a 4-string chord. A family was all 5-string. B and C, those are 5-string chords. G, that's a 6-string chord. And the D, he's going to be on the 4th string, or we only use 4 strings. Just think about it for a second. On the low E string, I have E, F, and G. So all E's are going to be 6 strings, F. G's are going to be 6-string chords. On the 5th string, I have A, B, and C. So the A family is going to be 5th-string chords. B7, C family, those are all 5th-string chords. Only thing that's left is D, and those are going to be on the 4th string. So you want to try and avoid hitting that 5th string. It is in the chord, but if you want to be accurate, and that's what we're trying to do, you want to hit just the D. 1st finger on that 3rd string, 3rd finger on the 2nd string, and then squeeze underneath here is our 2nd finger on that 2nd string of the 2nd fret of the 1st string. There you go. There's a D. Now, for D minor, I've got to switch my fingers around and put my 2nd finger where my 1st one was. I can just keep my 3rd finger where he's at, then put my 1st finger over here on the 1st string. That's D minor. So we have D major and D minor. You do that. Go to D major, D minor. Notice how you don't have to move your 3rd finger here. You can kind of anchor with that 3rd finger. One more time. D major, D minor. Keep that 3rd finger down. Now here we have to change. The D7, I have to switch. I have the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. 1st finger stays where he was at, except on the 2nd string. And then I've got my 3rd finger back on the 1st string, 2nd fret. This is D7. Okay? I know it's a lot. You're going to get it though. There's only 20 of them. I know it seems like there's a gazillion of them. It's only 20. Even 20 sounds like a lot, I guess. This is a D minor 7th. Remember we talked about in the lesson how you have to angle that knuckle a little bit like this in order to get it. Okay? To cover 2 strings at once. That may be unfamiliar to you, a little awkward at first. That's okay. Just try and get it as best you can. Remember, as I'm fingering a chord, if I'm hugging up right behind the fret, that's the easiest place to get the chord to sound. I don't want to be back over here. It's hard to get it to sound that way. If I'm right behind the fret, that's where I want to be. Now, D suspended. Remember how we related these in the lesson to the major? So here's D. If I put my pinky down, there's D suspended. So look carefully at the fingerings there. I know you're saying, but Steve, why don't you just do that? Because D and D suspended always kind of come together. So that's a good family to know. Move on to the next one. This is the 4th string, or the 4th line there. This is the E family. All 6 strings on these. Everybody play me an E. Hey, does that shape look familiar? That's the same shape as the A minor, just moved up a string set. So some of these are related. 2, 3, first finger. If I take my first finger off, that's E minor. If I put my first finger back on and take my 3rd finger off, that's E7. Let's skip to the last one real quick. If I go back to my E, but I put my pinky down, squeeze it underneath the others, that's an E suspended. Okay, now the only other one that you have to switch your fingers around on is the E minor 7th. So I put my first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, open, open, then I have my 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, D, 1st string, 3rd fret, with my pinky, that's an E minor 7th. Now there are other ways to play all of these. Don't let that freak you out, okay? So this is just a common way to play these. Okay? This is just as accurate, that's just as much as E minor, but you'll find that this one generally seems to work a little bit better when I'm doing the sort of playing that I do. So those are the open chords. Now, we're going to get some practice on those. You guys ready? Flip that page. Now we're on page 2. Now, it's got some bar chords at the top. I don't want you to worry about those just yet. We'll come back to those in just a second. Look down on page 2. It says the C, G7, A minor, E, and D minor chords. Minor being abbreviated by that little M. I'm just going to start grouping chords together in similar ways, not by families, but how they would normally appear in music. This one is loosely in the key of C, or in its relative minor, A minor, and that's where the E comes in there. So these are basically in the key of C. We'll do a few exercises in this. So take a look at that first one. I'm going to go between a C and a G7. Now look, for between the two, all I have to do is move these two up a string set, and this one down a string set. And that goes between C and G7. So let's practice that. C, and then these two come up a string. This one goes down a string. G7. You do it with me. C, G7. One more time. C, G7. If you get stuck, just pause the video. Come back to it later. Okay, so now take a look at that music staff that we have written there. Don't freak out that it's kind of written in slash notation there. That's just telling you that there are 4 beats in each measure. That's what that 4/4 is at the beginning of that line. The C, that's the chord name up on the top. You get 2 quarter notes, we call those in the business. So that's down, down, and then the 8th notes are down, up, down, up. So I'm not going to get too deep into the rhythm of it, because we're supposed to be looking at the chords. So that first measure would be, the rhythm would be down, 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 up, down, up. Okay? So your hand is always going in a down-up motion. Down, 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 up, down, up. And it's just when I choose to put my fingers, or my press the strings down, is when it when I choose to strum it is when it sounds. Okay, here we go. Let's do the first one. 1, 2, that first line, C and G7, go. 1, G7, find it, ready, play. 1, 2, down, up. We're going to do it again. Repeat back to the C. Do it again. Go. Down, 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 up. Good. G7, switch them. Ready and ready, go. Okay, next one is an A minor. Down, look at the rhythm. Down, 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 up, rest. Down, 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 up, rest. Then I take this same picture and everybody moves up a string set for the E, so those two are related, A minor and E. So let's do this one. This is the second line there. 1, 2, A minor, ready, go. 1, 2, down, up, rest. Then it does it again. When there's no chord, that just means keep doing it. Now we switch to E. Rest. Do it again. Do it again. Go. Slow and steady. E and. All right. Let's see. Let's check with our drummer here. See if I can get my drum machine going here, and we'll see if we can get this to work. 3. So this will be a little bit faster than where we're at. A minor and E, still on that second line. A 1, a 2, a ready, go. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. E. Do it again. Back to A minor, ready, go. Okay, now we've got a D minor. So let's pause our drummer. D minor, D, so it's a 4-string chord. Look up at the top there. It's a second finger, third finger, first finger. Down, down, then we hold this one for 2 beats. Then back to A minor. Okay, let's get our drummer going. A 1, 2, third line, D minor, go. Do it again, and A minor, ready, go. Do it again, do it again, do it again, and. All right. All right, hey, look at the last line on that page. C, A minor, D minor, G7. Okay, let's just form those chords first. Everybody just play me a whole note on a C. Ready? What about an A minor? See how I didn't have to move my first finger? I just kept them both from that C to the A minor. What about a D minor? Now here my first finger still can stay planted as I move to that G7. Do it one more time. C, A minor, D minor, G7. Now remember, if this is going too fast, you can go back and you can review it later and slow it down. Just go to that lower right-hand corner of your YouTube window and hit that little gear icon, and you can slow it down 50%, 75%, and that'll help you as you're going along. D minor, or no, we're doing the last line. Now we're gonna look at the rhythm. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Hey, just for practice, let's do each of these measures 2 times. Each of these measures 2 times. Give you extra time to get familiar with the chord. Okay, you play it. Here we go. Last line. 1, 2, 1, and 2, and. Do it again. C, go. A minor's next. Switch to A minor. A minor, ready, go. D minor is the next one, ready, and. Do it again, do it again. G7, ready, go. Do it again, and back to the beginning. Just one time each on these chords now. C. A minor, ready, go. D minor, ready, go. G7, ready, go. Do it again. Do it again. Back to C, go. A minor, ready, go. D minor, ready, go. G7, ready, go. A word about the strumming, okay? You don't want to be like a robot, okay? We're not going up and down like that, and we're also not twisting like we're screwing a screwdriver. We're not doing that motion either. It's a little bit of both. It's just kind of a relaxed up and down motion, and then my hand is kind of strumming almost like there's a little arc happening. So you got to relax a little bit. Okay? All right, take a look at the next page. Next page. Moving on, moving on. We got bigger things to do. The G, the D7, the E minor, and the B7. Okay? So now these are kind of grouped loosely in the key of G, or in its relative minor, the E minor. Okay. All right, so here we go. Take a look at that G first. We have our third finger, second finger, open, 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 and then pinky on that G. Same rhythm as we had before. Down, 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 up, down, up. This is page 3, that top exercise on the G. 2, 1, and ready, go. Good. Now D7. Find that D7. There you go. Okay, now let's play that measure. 1, 2, 3, and ready, go. Good. Now let's put them both together. We'll do the G and the D7. Top line, page 3. 1, 2, ready, and ready, go. D7, 2, find it, go. Let's do that again. Back to G and back to G, ready, go. D7, 2, you know what to do. All right, now we go still in that D7th shape, but if I just move those up 2 string sets, then I'm here and I'm ready for my B7. I just need to put my pinky down on that first string, 2nd fret. So do you see how that D7 is the same shape as the top half of that B7? Okay, so we have that B7 complicated, a 4-finger chord to just a 2-finger E minor. So here we go. Start on that B7. 1, 2, ready, go. E minor is the next one. Ready, go. And do it again. B7, do it again. And E minor, 2, ready, go. You know, a good analogy for strumming is, as one of our good friends Zhao is saying, it's like flicking water off your hand. If you've got water in your hand, you're trying to dry off your hands, so you kind of do that motion. Put a pick in that. Hold your pick, and that's the motion. That's the motion right there. So it's not all robotic like that. Take a look at the next one. This is the 3rd line on page 3. We've got 2 G's, 2 E minors, 2 C's, 2 D7. Let's do each one of these 2 times each. So we'll do the G measure for 2 times, the E minor for 2 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3rd line, page 3, G. Do it again, stay on G, N. E minor is the next one. We'll do 2 of these. do it again, and C is the next one, and D, 7th, is the next one. Good. Now let's see if we can play that third line just as it's written. So 1 bar each. 1, 2, G, third line, ready, go. E minor and switch it, and C and 2, ready, go. D, 7th, is the next one, and all right, go back to that G. Take a look at number 4, or this is the 4th one on that page, 4th line on that page. Okay, we've got a G, we've got a D7, we've got an E minor, and then our ever elusive B7. Okay, here we go. G, 2, we'll do each of these measures twice, and ready, go. Back to G, do it again. D, 7th, ready, go. Hang in there, do it again, hang in there. E minor, 2nd and 3rd finger, 2nd and 3rd finger. 6th string chord. B7, try and find it, and do it again, and okay, repeat back to the beginning, just one time each. G, E minor, ready, and oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm switching the wrong chord. Let me do that again. 4th line, page 3, ready, G, ready, go. D7th, 4-string chord. E minor, ready, go. B7th, ready, go. There you go. I got a little turned around there. All right, take a look at the bottom of page 3. We've got another little batch of chords. I believe this is the last little batch of these chords. Okay, this is the D, the C7, A7, and then an E7. So flip the page to page 4. You guys are doing great. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged if you can't do it with me. That's okay. You're just learning. Just if you can't do the rhythm, just do a whole note. Okay? If you can't keep up with me, that's okay. Come back and do it again later. Slow that rhythm down, and you'll get it. Just because you don't get something the first time doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to get through it, and then you'll get it. But don't give up the first time. That's the key. The real secret of the pros is perseverance, not giving up. If you can just keep going, you'll be amazed at how far you'll get. Here we go. Page 4, top of the page. This is a D. Okay, so we have to form the D. Then the A7th. Do you remember what that is? I didn't have it on the same page. I guess I probably should have. A7th is with our 2nd and 3rd finger. Okay, so let's go between the D and the A7 in that rhythm. Top line, page 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and A7, 2nd and 3rd finger, ready, and ready, go. You guys are doing great. Keep going. Back, do it again. Back to D, and ready, go. Can't do the rhythm, just 2 whole notes. That's all right. Ready, A7, go. Okay, look at the 2nd line there. This is an A with 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Remember, in the lesson we talked about you can play it like that as well. You can play it like that, but the more traditional way, the more useful way to play that is going to be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th because of how the combinations of chord progressions you're going to find yourself in. Here we go. A to 2nd line, and ready, go. E7th. We move our 2nd finger up, 1st finger on the 3rd string, and do it again, back to A, do it again, back to A. Doing great. Back to E7. Ready and ready, go. Good. Take a look at the third line. This is a C7. Remember, it's like a C. I just put my pinky down underneath it. And then we're going to go right back to that E7 that we were just at. And third line. 1, 2, C7th, and ready, go. Then we do that again. E7 now. Do it again, do it again. C7, go. E7. All right. What are we doing? Fourth line, D and A and D and A. You're going to go between D and A a lot in music because they're related chords. So start on the D, 1, 2, fourth line, and ready, go. A, ready, and ready, go. Back to D, go. All right, now, on the next line down there, you'll see some open minor seventh and suspended chords. There's the shapes. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to that next page. This is page 5. And we're going to try and run through a few of these, and then I want to take you through a special exercise. Okay? These exercises on page 5 involve strumming. Okay? So the rhythm of that first one is down, down, up, down, down. You just do that with me. Actually, just mute your strings. Down, down, up, down, down. Your hand is always going down and up. So I'm never going to tell you to be down when you're in the cycle to be up, or vice versa. Okay, you're always going to be in the same part of the cycle. It's kind of like when you were kids and you played jump rope and you had to wait to jump in. That's kind of like what strumming is, okay? Down, down, up, down. Just mute your strings. Let's see if we can jump in on that. 1, and ready, go. Down, down, up, down, 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 up. Just listen. Don't worry about the downs and ups. Now, as I'm hitting down, I'm going to hit all the strings I needed to. Let's say I'm on a C. But Steve, how do I not hit that 6th string? If you look really carefully, my third finger over here, as you get a little bit more developed in your hand coordination there, I'm hitting that 5th string, but you'll notice this third finger is actually he's touching, just barely touching that 6th string. So I'm actually playing that 6th string, but you don't hear it. It's just muted out. So I try and be as accurate as I can be going down, and then coming up, I just hit the first 3 strings or so. I don't try and go 5 strings and then pull out the last minute. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so I try and be accurate going down, and then I just hit some of them coming up. Your hand is making a little arc over here. But Steve, that means that they're not equal. Yes, that does. It's exactly what they mean. And that's why guitar playing sounds like it does. That's why when I play it like this, that sounds normal, but if I play it like this, it sounds really stiff and it's hard to find the tempo. That normal zhuga, zhuga, that emphasis on one part of the beat and a less emphasis on the up part, that's all part of the flow of guitar playing and strumming. Take a look at that first exercise. So it starts off with a C chord. We'll do each of these measures 2 times. Now, you'll see that in the next measure, it just goes to slashes. Well, what's that telling you? That's telling you to just keep doing the same rhythm that you were just doing. Just keep doing it. Okay, I don't want to have to write it all out. It's just a way to say, just keep repeating that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do each of these measures twice. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, down, up, up. Do it again. D minor. G7, you can keep that first finger down. Now remember, you can just do whole notes if you want to. That's completely fine. Back to C. Do it again. Do it again, a little bit faster. Down, down, up. 2 measures, do it again. D minor. G7. C. Hey, let's get our drummer going back again. Come on, drummer, here we go. Down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 2 bars each. 1, 2, ready, go. D minor. Good job. Okay, take a look at the next one. The second line on page 5 starts on a D. Okay, there's a D. Well, how when I'm strumming, how would you mute out those other strings there? Well, here I kind of have to angle my arc a little bit so I don't hit that last 6th string. And if you happen to hit that 5th string, it is in the chord. It's not terrible. But you want to just try and angle that arc to where you're hitting primarily those 4th strings. Okay, so here we go. Number 2. Do each measure 2 times. 1, 2, and D, go. Do that D again. G, remember what that form is? A suspended with that pinky out. And then we shift to the 3rd finger, A7. Do it again, back to D, ready, go. G, A suspended. You're doing great, hang in there. A suspended, A7. Hey, we're gonna do it one more time. Only one time each. Only one time each. D. Now a G. G. A suspended. A7. Do it again. Do it again. Back to D. Do it again. Come on, you can do it. A suspended. A7. There you go. There you go. Don't give up. You know, whoever said that guitar playing was easy, okay? It takes a little bit of work to get it, but it's not the most complicated thing in the world. But you can get it. Just keep reviewing those hand motions and you'll get it. Take a look at the third one. I don't know if we'll go through all of these, but we'll go through a couple more. G, now look at that rhythm has changed a little bit. Down, down, or what is that? Down, up, down, up, down. You just do that with me on a G. Down, up, down, down. Just keep doing it. Okay, let's start the exercise now. G, A minor 7, D suspended like a D with the pinky down, D, back to G, ready, go. A minor 7, D7 for D suspended. Now, I have some other exercises going further down the page there. that will give you some more practice on those. But I want to get to an important exercise. Okay, let's go back and let's take a look at the bar chords, which were on the bottom, or on the top of page 2. Let's review those bar chords real quick. Okay, so at the top of page 2, you see the notes on the 6th string bar chord. So let's first go over the notes on the 6th string. Okay, we learned this in the lesson. It's open E, first finger F. Remember, all of these are going to be a whole step away from each other, 2 frets worth, except for E and F and B and C. There's a G, there's an A, 2 frets away, 2 frets away is a B, and then just a half step, just 1 fret here, only half steps between E and F and B and C. There's C, 2 half steps up, D, 2 half steps up, 12th fret is your open E. It's like your open E, it's the high E, 12th fret E. Okay, do that one more time. E, F, G, A, B, half step to C, D, E. All right, so these are the 6 string bar chords. You'll notice that in the diagrams that there's a diamond now. And what that diamond means is that's the root. So these chord forms don't include, they're not open chords, they're movable forms that use a bar. That's what that curved line is for. Now, not all movable forms are bar chords. You can have movable forms that don't involve a bar. So don't automatically think that bar chords are the only movable forms there are. There's plenty of other forms that are movable. As long as they don't have an open string, you can move it. Okay, so let's do a F. Remember how we practiced that in our lesson? If you're a little weak on those first finger, then you just do little exercises. Take 3 or 4 or 5 strings, play them and hold them. In fact, let's do that. Just on the, let's do 4 strings up here at the 5th fret, and we're going to hold it for 5 beats. Okay, we're preparing for those chords, so we'll just leave those chords up there. You just do this with me. 4 beats. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it, ready, do it again, and 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down a half step, ready, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I did a whole workout series on these, which I'll put the link in the YouTube description down below for our bar chord workout. So I'm not going to really take you through all that stuff right now. So you can go through those workouts and it'll really get you into the bar chords that you need to and getting your fingers strong enough to do them. So let's take a look at the bar chords in the 6th string, that F shape. I'm barring completely 6 strings with my first finger. I can overshoot if I need to. I got the 3rd finger here, 4th finger there, 2nd finger there, and then I just bar all of these. Now, just for your own enjoyment, if I go down a half step, hey, there's my open E. Just with my notes, my fingers switched around. But if I move it up a half step and then put this bar down on the strings that would have been open, I'm with the F major. So do you see how this E and this F major are related to each other? Now if I take my 2nd finger off, I get an F minor. Don't worry if it's a little buzzy right now, just go through those bar chord workouts and that will get you there. Okay, if I add my 2nd finger back down but take my pinky off, there you go. That's an F7. If I take my 2nd finger off, I end up with an F minor 7. So if I put my pinky back down, but he's on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, that's an F suspended 7th. F suspended 7th. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise here. We're going to go from a C to an A minor to an F to a G7. Okay, so this is in the key of C. This would be covering the 4 main types of chords in the key of C. C, the 1 chord, the 6 minor, which would be A minor, then an F, and then you can do a G7. Or you can move it up to this, you can do a G7 here if you wanted to, or this one. Now you know 2. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a measure of C. Actually, let's do 2 bars of C, and then 2 bars of A minor, 2 bars of F, this new bar F, and then 2 bars of G7. We'll do that, whatever that strumming rhythm was. Down, down, up, up, down, down, down. Just on a C, start it, ready, go. Okay, let's go to an A minor. A minor. That was an F. G7. Do it again. Back to C. This is the 1. The 1 chord in C. 6 minor. A minor. Big old bar F. Just good as you can get it. That's okay. G7. Okay, now we're going to go to the key of G. Key of G. Now here, the 1 chord would be a G chord. The 6 minor would be an E minor. The 4 chord would be a C, and the 5 chord would be a D7. G, E minor, C, and D7. Those are the 4 chords. Let's go back to our strumming pattern that we did. 2 bars each, starting on the G. 1, 2, and go. G. E minor. C. D7. Do it again. Do it again. Do it. G. E minor. C. D7. So we're doing the 1, the 6 minor, the 4, and the 5/7 in these guitar-friendly keys. The next one let's go to is, let's go to the key of D. Now, in order to do the key of D, we're going to have to do a B minor. So I want you to take a look at those 5th string bar chords, and let's take a look at a couple of those, particularly the second one in that line on page 2, that second line, the B minor. Okay, look at the B minor there. Okay, it's the same shape. It's the same shape as the major that we just had on the F chord. You're just scooting everything down a string set, and we're going to move it up here to the 2nd fret where the B is. Okay, so let's review the notes on that 5th string like we did on the other one. On the 6th string. On the 5th string, remember, half steps between B and C and E and F. B and C and E and F. Here we go. A, B, C. There's only half step there. 2 frets up to D. 2 frets up to E. Only 1 fret up to F. 2 frets up to G. 2 frets up to A. We can always check ourselves. There's the double dot, same as what it would be open. So a B minor 7th. There's my B of my B minor 7th. And then I just form the rest of them down there. So if I did in the key of D, the 1, 6 minor, 4, 5, 7 progression, it would be a D to this new B minor to a G to an A7. So you do that with me. D, 1, 2, and 2, measures ready, go. B minor, just to get it as best as you can. G, A7. This one would be an A7. Do it again. Back to D, ready, go. B minor. Don't worry if it's a little buzzy. Just work those bar chord workouts. G, and you'll get it. A7. Good job. We've done the 1-6 minor, 4, 5, 7 in the key of C. We've done it in G. We've done it in D. I think it's time we need to do it in A. A. Okay. So we're going to do it. A would be the 1. The 6 minor would be F sharp minor. So we have to go back to our 6th string form. And now we're going to be the minor form, but it's going to be at the 2nd fret because that's where the F sharp is. Okay. So there's A, there's F sharp minor. Then we have a D, then we have an E7. Here we go, let's play that progression. 2 bars of A. 1, 2, and ready, go. F sharp minor. D. E7 now. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Sounds so good. A and F sharp minor. D is the next one. E7 is the next one. All right, we are on the home stretch. Last one, kids. Here we go. We've done them in C. We've done them in G. We've done them in D. He's done them in A. The last chord family that is something that guitar players do a lot of is the key of E. E. Okay, so we have E. That's the 1. What's the 6 minor in the key of E? That would be C sharp minor. Okay, well, you've got a choice. I could either come way up here and do a C sharp minor up there. That's going to be too high, too much of a jump. So I'm going to have to do it on the 5th string. A, B, C, C sharp, and then I play that same minor form again. So we have E, C sharp minor, we have A, and then we have our ever elusive B7. E, C sharp minor, A, B7. 1, 2, and go. C sharp minor. 4th fret. A is next. B7. B7. Back to E. Back to E. Back to E. C sharp minor. A. B7. Back to E. All right, there you go. Now, we've learned the bar chords on the 6th string. I showed you the minor form in the 5th string, and the other shapes are right there. We've gotten through a whole lot of exercises. If you could just learn those chords, you'll be able to play most any song that comes by. But there's more chords to come. So in the next one, we're going to cover some more pop-sounding progressions. Get into 2 chords and power chords and all kinds of fun things like that. So we will see you guys next time. Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Keep up the great work in your learning, and we'll see you next time.